I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili's baby back ribs, barbecue sauce. That is what I believe was in the heads of any Minnesota player that was trying to drive on Nikola Jokic in the rim. Okay, all jokes aside, we gotta talk about this Denver game because the Minnesota Timberwolves have just gone up 3-1 on a Denver team that was supposed to beat them. I have found this series pretty interesting, and I gotta say, I'm surprised, but I feel like the playoffs has done this thing. I talked about it in my last video, but the playoffs expose everything. And that's why in the past couple of videos, the title has had something to do with the word, how the blank exposed the blank, because that is exactly what has happened right now. The Timberwolves are exposing the Denver Nuggets. And the fact of the matter is they're going out extremely sad right now, especially Jokic. Now, if you did not watch this game, you need a little bit of a recap. Let me explain what happened. First of all, Minnesota won. They won by a lot, and it wasn't particularly close for the fourth quarter. Because while Jokic did have 24, 15, and 9, I believe, whatever you do, do not look at his fourth quarter stats. Oh, so you didn't look at his stats? Well, allow me to do just that. In the fourth quarter, this man played a total of 9 minutes and had 4 points, all on free throws, by the way, and shot 0 for 6 from the field. Not to mention, he was ejected, and he essentially was one of the main reasons why Denver lost this game. And I mean, if you're a Jokic fan, it's not looking good for you because in these playoffs, Jokic has been playing absolutely piss poor as of late. Unfortunately, you're going to look at the stats and say, oh, 24, 15, and 9, that's so great. But what you didn't do is look at the fourth quarter and realize that one, Jokic's lack of offensive scoring and playmaking ability is one of the reasons they lost. But on top of that, this man is a fucking traffic cone and guards literally 0 rim pressure. And it is because of that that Minnesota has been able to not just, capture a win in this game, but capture 3 wins in a series they weren't supposed to win. I told you guys after game 1, I was very concerned because it looks like that Minnesota could have won every single game they've played this series, and they've only lost 1 game. I feel like after the first game, I had a right to be concerned, and it wasn't just a fluke. Like that. This is the world that we live in, y'all. The Denver Nuggets, who had an improvement of a season, and Jokic played great as he always does, is about to lose to a Minnesota team that, not gonna lie, they're good, but I didn't think they were as good as they really have been. But you know what? Shout out to Anthony Edwards, shout out to Julius Randle, but in this game particularly, shout out to Ayo Dosunmu, who had 43 fucking points in one of the biggest games of his life. And this might not sound like it's the biggest game of his life, but he's playing for the fucking Bulls before this, so there wasn't really that many big games. But I gotta say, ever since Ayo went to Minnesota, this man has stepped up as a player, and I am so glad that Chris Finch has been able to see what this man can do, because it's not just this game, but Ayo has stepped up a ton for Minnesota, like I said. So the fact that he stepped up when it mattered most, where, and I hate talking about this, but where you had a player like Dante DiVincenzo who got injured, who tore his Achilles, which I genuinely feel pain for Dante. I hope he does recover soon, but you needed a man to step up, and that's exactly what Ayo Dosunmu did. Because while Jokic had 4 points in the fourth quarter, do you want to know how many Ayo Dosunmu had? The man had 15 points. Hell, in one half of basketball, he had more points than Jokic had for the entire game. I gotta say, shout out to Ayo Dosunmu for winning this game for Minnesota, but most importantly, more specifically, because this is a Jokic video, I say we just get into Jokic straight up. The biggest flaw when it comes to Jokic has been his ability to not really have the ability to play defense, and I think that still stands. And another problem I would argue is that Jokic has also been playing like shit when it comes to offense. I know you're gonna see the 8 for 22 field goal percentage, you're gonna say, oh, 36%, that's not bad. By the way, whoever says that, you're a fucking idiot. He shot piss poor, and again, is one of the reasons why his team struggled. I mean, Jamal Murray had 30 points, was it ethical? I mean, sure, 10 of 25 shooting, 40%, not the best. And look, I know what some of you are probably going to try to say, like, oh, Spex, these star players, they're not always going to have good, shooting games when it comes to field goal percentage. They're going to score 30, 40 points and only have 50, 60% of the field. That makes it a good game. Well, not to be that guy, but Shea did have 42 while shooting 15 of 18 from the field. Now listen, did he have 12 free throws? Yes. But even if we take away those 12 free throws, that's still 30 points on 15 of 18 shooting, which is fucking amazing. And it's something that we're not seeing a whole lot of players doing. So even if Jokic would have shot even slightly better, I give him some praise, but I really can't. I also can't really defend the shit that he did to Jaden McDaniels at the end of the game when I think he scored a bucket or tried. Okay, he tried to go for a bucket. By the way, this was the first time Jokic showed any rim pressure at all this series. I ain't gonna lie, I still that joke from Kenny Beecham. But this is the first time that Jokic has done something in the paint, because he goes at Jaden McDaniels, and I ain't gonna lie, McDaniels low-key rage baited him. He, as a professional rage baiter myself, this made McDaniels absolutely rage baited the hell out of Jokic, and it got Jokic ejected. I think McDaniels also got ejected, but I find it in the most pivotal moments of Jokic's career, and in the games where he's facing a possible, elimination type game, we see Jokic get absolutely frustrated and lose all composure possible. I don't remember if this was in game 3 or game 4, but if you're a Suns fan, you definitely remember this. In 2021, I believe in the second round, it was Suns and Nuggets, and in either the final game or a game 3 where it basically was, oh, if the Suns win, they're gonna win the series. This man Jokic, he tried to kill Cameron Payne, and Cameron Payne, being 4 feet tall, 50 pounds, soaking wet, he almost killed the man. This man Jokic, when it matters most, has zero composure and did not show up as a leader for his team. He couldn't shoot the ball well, he couldn't keep his composure, and he couldn't play fucking defense. So I ask you, Jokic, as good of a player as he is, this man is an absolute fucking joke when it matters most. And there were a lot of people that were talking shit about Rudy Gobert, but we gotta give this man his flowers. He's been absolutely locking Jokic the fuck up. I mean, genuinely, Gobert is making Jokic look like his bitch. And I ain't gonna lie, it's funny, y'all. It's extremely funny. Shout out to Rudy Gobert, man. Now let's stop talking about Jokic for a sec, and let's talk about this series and what could happen. Because Denver is currently down 3-1, and they have a chance to pull a 3-1 comeback. But by the way, it's not as common as you might think, because in NBA history, 298 instances, only 13 times has it happened. And if you don't know math, that is a 4.4% success rate for a team to come back down 3-1. And listen, Denver has done that before. Granted, it was in 2020, I believe, in the bubble, but still, anything is possible. However, I don't think this version of Jokic is able to do that. I just don't think he is. I straight up believe he is going to crumble when it matters most. I think he's going to have a high scoring game. He might even have a 30-point triple-double. But the fact of the matter is, when the fourth quarter comes, I don't think he's going to perform well, and I think he's going to once again lose composure and start some shit because he's pissed off that he's struggling. But you know what? Let me play devil's advocate for a sec. Let's just say that Denver comes back 3-1 and bam, they beat Minnesota. Because I'm not going to lie, Minnesota is looking kind of vulnerable right now. Dante DiVincenzo, the heart of the team, he just tore his Achilles, and Anthony Edwards is out with a leg injury, I believe, and he's going to go for an MRI. On the off chance that both of those players are out for the remainder of the series, aka the season in this hypothetical, the Denver Nuggets are going to be a team that they only beat because they were injured and because they were lacking some of their best players. And are you going to be proud of that? No, you want to beat a team when they're at their best. But no, Denver is going to get away with beating a team that is dealing with so many injuries, and they're like, oh yeah, we're actually good at this basketball thing. But the next round, they are going to get swept by OKC. I'm sorry. If Denver wins this series, they're going to get swept by OKC. I don't see it happening any other way. So regardless, Denver loses in this scenario. They either go out a round earlier and get to have a little bit more vacation time, which maybe Jokic can do to lose some fucking weight and not play this horses, or they go out in the second round and they still get embarrassed. And if you're a Jokic hater, everyone's happy. And again, I hate acting like this, but I'm not gonna lie, it pisses me off when Jokic does shit like this, because as a leader, you gotta be better, you gotta be more composed. And I know there's gonna be some Jokic fans in the comment section below that are mad at what I'm saying, especially because I did make a Jokic video not that long ago praising him, and I do mean everything that I said in that video. However, that video was not a big moment. When I was talking about him, it was not a big moment. This is a big moment, and the man has been struggling as of lately. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm not gonna lie, there is a chance that I have a Suns crash out video within the next couple days, so if the Suns do get swept, best believe I am going to probably not get that video monetized. But anyways, I'm gonna see y'all boys next video. Have a great day. Peace. Bye.